If you live an average lifespan, you get about 30,000 days on Earth. When you're young, that feels like an infinite reservoir. But eventually, the math catches up with you, and those days seem to vanish faster than they accumulate. You've likely felt this shift. The summer holidays you experienced at age 10 stretched endlessly from June to September. But at age 40, an entire calendar year can blink out of existence before you register it's November. Cognitive researchers call this subjective time compression. The human brain doesn't record time like a mechanical clock ticking off seconds. It measures time by the density of the memories it creates. When you are 5 years old, a single year represents 20% of your entire existence. Almost every encounter, a new school, a new game, a new friend, is a first. By age 50, a year is just 2% of your life, and the vast majority of your daily encounters are repeats of things you've already done thousands of times. This chart shows memory formation density over a lifespan. Notice the erratic peaks during youth. The brain is recording novel experiences. In adulthood, the curve flatlines. Your daily routine is predictable, so your brain stops allocating energy to record it. A highly routinized life where the brain stops hitting the record button creates the subjective experience of time accelerating. This biological quirk is hard enough to manage in a normal setting, but place that same brain into the modern digital ecosystem and the memory system breaks down. Our ancient neurological hardware is severely mismatched for today's software. The clinical result is time blindness, a state where individuals lose the ability to accurately sense the passing of hours or days, causing schedules to collapse and months to vanish without a trace. Every day, screens bombard us with an endless stream of notifications, short-form videos, and infinite scrolls. These are constant, low-value inputs that require immediate attention but carry zero long-term meaning. Your biological wiring cannot tell the difference between a high-stake survival threat on the savannah and an urgent red notification badge on your phone. Both trigger the exact same alarm bells in your nervous system. Subjecting your nervous system to this chronic overstimulation for hours a day eventually exhausts your neurochemistry. The constant drip of cheap digital rewards burns out your dopamine receptors, leaving you fatigued and numb to normal life. Dopamine is the chemical signal that tells your brain an event is worth remembering. Without those spikes from genuine real-world novelty, the memory storage system shuts down. The days slip by, entirely unrecorded. To repair this broken perception of time, we must look past our current digital habits. We need to examine the original ancestral environment our biology was originally designed to navigate. For almost the entirety of human existence, the setting of the sun meant a complete halt to external productivity. Our species spent half of its timeline wrapped in total darkness. In these harsh, ancient environments, humans were deeply vulnerable. Navigating the cold and the threat of predators required relying on small, localized sources of firelight. It was under these extreme, resource-scarce conditions that our internal biological clocks were originally forged. Because the night lasted for up to 12 hours in the winter, our ancestors didn't sleep in one continuous 8-hour stretch. They couldn't. This diagram compares our current sleep schedule with historical patterns. Notice the split arcs on the right. Historical records confirm that pre-industrial humans naturally divided their rest into a distinct first sleep and a second sleep. Between these two phases sat a distinct period of wakefulness around midnight, often referred to as the watch. Lasting an hour or two, it was a time of enforced stillness used for quiet reflection, tending fires, and allowing the nervous system to process the day in a completely low-stimulus environment. We evolved to rely on this quiet, meditative break to digest our experiences. The continuous, anxiety-driven 8-hour block we attempt today strips the brain of its natural processing time. That ancient biological rhythm was shattered with a single invention, the incandescent light bulb. Flooding our homes with artificial light erased the boundary of the sunset. The enforced quiet of the night vanished, and with it, the natural practice of first and second sleep disappeared from human culture. Factories and businesses could now operate around the clock. To maximize labor efficiency, the rigid industrial schedule mandated that humans compress their rest into a single 8-hour block to prepare for the next shift. A century later, modern smartphones escalated this biological interference. We now carry intense, blue light-emitting screens into our beds, delivering a relentless stream of data right up until the moment we close our eyes. This creates a constant physiological state of high alert. From the moment you wake up to the moment you drift off, your nervous system is processing inputs, completely deprived of its evolutionary downtime. We are asking ancient biological hardware, designed for periods of absolute darkness and quiet reflection, to operate on a relentless, brightly lit, and highly unnatural modern schedule. We cannot return to living in caves or rely solely on firelight. But we can build strict digital boundaries to protect our ancient wiring from the chaos of the modern environment. The first step is executing a 30-day dopamine detox. By deliberately cutting out highly stimulating inputs like social media feeds and endless video scrolling, you allow your brain's burnt-out receptor levels to return to their natural baseline. This flowchart breaks down the 3-touch rule. Reclaiming mental stillness requires ruthlessly triaging digital noise. You touch an input to categorize it, act on it, or archive it. Enforcing rigid rules like this prevents your attention from fracturing. It stops the brain from slipping back into the passive, hyper-stimulated state where your days blur together and memories fail to record. Minimizing digital chaos preserves the raw mental bandwidth your biology requires to process time at its natural pace. Once you clear away the static, you can deploy the most effective biological tool for slowing down time: high-stakes novelty. You have to deliberately shatter your daily routines. When you expose your brain to completely new, unpredictable stimuli, like navigating a foreign city or learning a complex physical skill, you force your nervous system to wake up. These intense experiences require absolute focus. To survive and adapt, your brain must capture high-resolution, incredibly dense memories of the event. When you look back, this density of memory physically expands your subjective sense of the past. You are not a passive observer of a ticking clock. You actively create your own perception of time. By protecting your natural rest and deliberately seeking out the unfamiliar, you can ensure that your 30,000 days feel rich, memorable, and truly abundant.